I only have one trade to show in this video, but I promise it's a really good one. So what I've been doing with my collection lately is going through, and especially after my big booster opening, going through the cards that were already in my collection and just checking the conditions. And if they were not mint condition, or if they were something like really rare, like first edition cards, near mint, I have put them on a separate list on my website, thecatsmeow.com, called an English replacements list. And basically they're cards that I have, but I just want them in better condition. So this is where the site Trade Cards Online that I first got my trading going really shines through. I've been able to trade for some things on this list through YouTube, but most of my YouTube trades are for newer, more current trades. And honestly, YouTube, I struggle finding people that want older stuff. And that's where Trade Cards Online comes in. They've got this great system where you put in your specific wants, you get you have lists generated by other members, you can find matches, and it's just really good for older cards. So I met this guy, Tyda54, and this is our second trade, or the third trade? I think just the second trade. And it's taken me a while to actually work this out, just delays on my own part. But once we did, it was absolutely worth it. He's another big collector, and he had a bunch of spares of some mint condition, really rare cards, or not really rare cards, but just cards that I needed to, mint out a lot of my sets. So I've got two big cards that I'm going to save for very last, and we're going to go ahead and start with, let's go ahead and start with some jungle cards, I think. Sorry, let me get these sorted out real quick. Alright, so first off, we've got a first edition Wigglytuff non-holo rare from Jungle, some commons and uncommons, a first edition Tauros, first edition Weepinbell, one of my favorite cards because it's got a normal bird perched on its head, and a first edition Butterfree. And the story about the first edition Butterfree is kind of cool. At one point I had a few first edition Butterfrees. I kept one in my collection and I've sold or traded off the others. Well, when I was going back through my collection, I took a closer look at my first edition Butterfree, and turns out mine was an error card. And maybe I'll even feature that in a featured Friday one day. But basically, the first edition Butterfree Jungle error card, instead of a 1 in the first edition symbol, there was a D. So I found that I actually had the error card. I had sold or traded off all my other ones, so needed to get another one. So here is the addition to my collection for that. We've got some other nice first edition Jungle rares. Snorlax, Pinsir, Nidoqueen, Kangaskhan, and Vaporeon. So this actually mints out my entire Jungle set except for, I think, a rare Venomoth. So very close. So now let's go on to the base set. From just the unlimited, I needed a computer search, which is funny because I've had, I wish I had really gone through my collection earlier, because chances are I've actually traded or sold away a lot of cards that I could have replaced in my own collection. I just, when I first started collecting, it was more important just to have the card than really to focus on the condition. So I wasn't really looking for mint cards later on down the road to replace them. Now I am. So there's a nice rare computer search. Unfortunately, you can't use it in current decks right now as a replacement for a spec. It doesn't count. Official ruling, not my decision, obviously. And then we've got a bunch of first edition base set cards. Now, they're all commons and uncommons, but again, since they're first edition cards, they're actually still worth a good amount of money. So we've got a Water Energy, Pokemon Center, Super Potion, Coughing, Ghastly, Magmar, Kakuna, Caterpie, Porygon, Poliwhirl, and double colorless energy. So really awesome to add these to my collection and mint out my first edition base set a little bit more. So I've saved the best two cards for last. First up, we've got another base set card. This is going to my unlimited collection, and actually I believe this mints out my unlimited set. Base set Charizard. So it turned out my Charizard had some damage to it. I traded up for another Charizard, but it still wasn't quite mint condition, so traded for this one instead. So I'll actually have, I think, 2 base set Charizards that will be up for trade or sale. I think one's in maybe fair to good condition, the other's in like excellent condition. So I'll probably, if anyone's interested and has something from my wants list or is interested in buying, I can always give you more information on those on the details of that card later. And then finally, the last card that I traded for, nothing old school, in fact, about as new as they come, a Landorus EX. And I traded for this because at the time, this was something that was still on my wants list, and I was pretty much trading old cards for it, so it couldn't hurt to have another one to finish off decks. However, I believe this is my 4th Landorus, and I have a feeling I'm only going to ever play 3 in a deck, so I may even be willing to sell this one. I'll have to check my binder. Maybe I'm not sure. I think I no longer have a full art Landorus, but I'm still kind of weighing that if I want to keep a playset of 4 for decks or if I want to give up one to get a little cash. So not really sure, but for now I'm going to hang on to it. And we're actually working out a 3rd trade right now, so hopefully I'll get some more cards to mint out my sets and be able to help him out as well. So definitely check out Trade Cards Online if you're looking for older cards. It's just a great site. They have a reference system, so it's fairly safe as well. A little safer, actually much safer than YouTube. Yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned for more videos, and I think tomorrow I'm actually going to, unless I have more trades come in, I might actually post a battle video. I'm going to try and start filling in some of these empty days with something else for you guys to watch. So, stay tuned.